G'day. So, while the weather's a bit crappy, I figured we might have a look at the enduro bike that I'm using this year. You might not have seen my Knolly Chilcotin, but it's the bike I replaced my Specialized enduro with, and yeah, loving it so far. But it's become far from its stock form, so let's have a little bit of a run through that. So here we got my 2021 Knolly Chilcotin. It started life as a Chilcotin 151, but has undergone a fair few changes. It did have code brakes, a GX Eagle build, Fox factory fork, and a RockShox Super Deluxe, which ended up putting a Magneg on. But the bike is super progressive, and it actually found that it suits a coil a bit better. So Knolly is a brand out of Vancouver, Canada, that you may or may not have heard of, but they're known for pretty burly bikes made for like North Shore riding and all that kind of stuff. So it suits me just fine. This was a full 29er to start with, but I don't know if you can see here, but it's actually a Mullet now. It's kind of spurred by a couple of things. I destroyed the original 29er wheel, or the rim at least. Was difficult to get a replacement for it, being super boost, and I decided to just build a 27.5. And also considering that I'm only 173 centimeters tall, it kind of helps me anyway. It has changed the bike a little bit. Bottom bracket height's around 335 millimeters, which is not too bad. And I put a wolf tooth geoshift angle set in to correct the geometry somewhat. So that's steepened it by 1 degree so as to bring the bottom bracket up a little bit and make it not quite so slack. Traded in the 36 factory for a Formula Selva S. I was running it at 160 trail, but now I've gone to 170 because I have a trail bike which covers the the mid-travel segment anyway. This is a really good fork. It's got this part in here. You can pull that out and you can change the compression tune with things called CTS valves, and I was running the stiff red valve, but I've now gone to the medium blue valve to help with my shoulder recovery after having surgery. This is a super plush fork that's quite hard to bottom out. Yeah, I love it a lot more than the Fox factory fork that I had. It feels kind of like a Lyric, but just with a nicer overall feel for me. It also has these squishy foam flexible tokens, which give it kind of a coil feel. This fork is adjustable from 160 to 170. I've also changed the brakes to the Formula Curas. These are 2 pots. It did have 4-pot codes on it, which I've usually liked, but they tend to rub a lot and be pretty inconsistent. These are only 2 pots. They feel actually more powerful, and I've only had to bleed them the once when I set them up, and they've felt like they're absolutely just so firm, but a lot of modulation as well. Changed to the P&W handlebars. I really love these because they're a 10-degree back sweep and 30mm rise. SQ Lab 35mm stem. Have a RockShox Reverb, like the new type dropper post. It's absolutely flawless. Haven't had to touch it once. Ergon SM Enduro saddle, which I like a lot. Rear shock is a DVO Jade. So this is a downhill shock, but this bike is super progressive and allows me to run a light 400-pound spring at 75 kilos. And I think it still climbs great, and yeah, it feels super good in the rough, and I'm still figuring it out a little bit, but yeah, loving it. This is the linkage. It's called a 4x4. Feels so good. Allows you to tune the shock, get more shock tuning independent of the actual main wheel, and it feels quite plush actually, and yeah, really forgiving, and just gives the bike a real hovery feel. I put this chain guide on because I was dropping the chain every now and then. Had to space it out a lot because it's a super boost, but yeah, that's holding up pretty good. Still running my old faithful Crank Brothers Mallet E's. GX Eagle looking a bit bashed up, but still working pretty good. So yeah, we'll kick on with that. The rear wheel is a fun Phantom, and I run a Continental Trail King, which is not too bad, but I do have a plug in it, so I'm going to actually try the Daniel Crypto Towel pretty soon. Front one is on a Spank rim, and it is a Continental De Kaiser, which I like a lot. It's kind of like a DHR type feeling thing. So yeah, expect a few more videos on this. Loving this bike so far.
Right. Oh, wettest of socks. Better line. Woo! Woo! Oh, yahtzee! Whoa, that's slower. Yoo! Way-hee! Good times.